How you doing, guys? How you guys been? It's great to be back at Lake Mead. So we haven't filmed out here in about 5 months or so because we didn't have the proper permits. If you guys weren't tracking, the federal government closed down the national parks unless you have a permit. You gotta pay a fee in order to film. The majority of you guys that are just going to come out here and have a good weekend and film and post it on Instagram, and you're not making any money or anything, not a big deal for you guys. Some of you guys that have smaller YouTube channels, also not a big deal if you're not making money. Some of them are daily permits, some of them are weekly, and if you get lucky you can get them a little bit longer if you pay. So we're dealing with that, but other than that, we are back. Feels great to be out here. This is our home lake. It's about 20 miles from our house. When they closed down the federal parks, they closed down this lake, the river system, all the way down to Laughlin. So our closest fishing area was probably a 2-hour drive. So kind of threw a corkscrew in our plans. But now we're back. We're going to do a little bit of bass fishing. We're going to check the water levels. Water levels are very important to us because of the fact that we're fishermen. And the reason why we track it to a T is everything affects the fish. It's starting to get hot, which means the barometric pressure went up a little bit. But as far as the levels go, the reason why we track the levels is because right now is the spawning season for the bass. And when the bass are spawning, they spawn and they lay their eggs in these holes that are about, a lot of them are 2 to 3 feet deep from what we've seen in this lake and other lakes. So 2 to 3 feet deep, if the water drops a couple feet, the temperature will raise in these holes. It gets too hot and it'll kill the eggs. Or if it just drops too much, they're completely out of the water and it kills all the eggs anyway. So hopefully the water stays leveled out for a couple months for them to spawn, and it'll be great fishing. So that's how we're gonna know whether or not the fishing is gonna be great. So like I said, we haven't been out here. We're gonna look around, we're gonna check water levels. The news and everybody's been saying that the water is going up. I want to see for myself, so follow along. I got my boys here, Adrian Jr. and Juju, my 2 sons. Gonna have a great time out here, and thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys coming back, waiting all this time for an update. Let's go catch some fish, let's go look around, let's go have some fun. Some of you guys recognize this guy. He's grown to about 6'1". Juju.
I'm ready.
We got Junior.
It's been too long since we've been out here. This is probably the longest stretch of time that I haven't been on this lake in a lot of years. So I'm excited today. Fishing looks good. Fishing looks good. Weather's amazing. It's nice and warm. It's finally hitting that springtime. We got Juju with us. How it normally is he's gonna outfish all of us today, and we're gonna be doing the water level update because he's gonna catch it.
I don't know. He's a panfish master. I don't know if there's too many panfish, but he also is a bass master. So
yep.
As far as launching goes, the launch looks pretty good. If you have a 4x4 or a truck, I would recommend that because they go out pretty flat. If you have a car, you're gonna get a little bit of water inside your vehicle, possibly up to the gas pedals. I've seen that here before. Sounds like we got a leak back there. Okay, so we got the fish finder going. We want to check out what's going on with the water here. So let's see what we have here. So we're at 61 degrees. That's beautiful for bass fishing. We usually like 64, 65, but 61 is fine. 19 feet deep. We can clearly see the bottom. I'm thinking about 30 feet deep visibility. You got to have a really clear fishing line, and your bait, they have to look real. I've never seen that down there.
Yeah, we're seeing stuff.
That's 20 something feet deep.
It's like clear as day.
Wow, I've never seen it this clear. This is amazing.
There's no fish on that. So one of the big things is, it looks like so far, is they moved this tire set out. These tires were a lot closer to the edge, and they pulled them out. So it looks like they're doing good things here. They're working to make it a little bit easier to use, a little bit better for the boaters and everything. The launch looks good, and they're starting to move stuff around. So far, everything is looking great. We're gonna go check out some of our spots, the intake pipe, some of the sunken boats and everything we always do for our water level updates. And then we're gonna do a little bit of fishing. We were seeing some bass on beds right there at the boat launch. Look at, there's a bass bed. Smalley just got off it. It's gonna be a good day today.
He's lucky.
Yeah, he's lucky he's in the marina, isn't he?
He's lucky.
Yeah. So when you start seeing them like that, you know it's going to be a good day of fishing. So let's get into it.
The weather is just beautiful out here. It looks like glass, but don't let it fool you. Make sure you check the weather because I've seen 4 or 5 foot rollers right here. You call it the storm? But here's a spot that a lot of people are interested in. Adrian's tying up lures and stuff. So before we go over here to vlog out the intake pipe number 1, we did go up to Fresno, California area. We went to Bass Lake.
That was like a 3.5 pound largie.
We just got back yesterday and we just turned and burned before we posted that video, and we came out here because our permit was good. We were kind of excited to get out here. So we're gonna post this video, and the next day or two after this post, we're gonna go ahead and post that fishing trip up in Fresno. Did a little bit of sightseeing, saw some historic sites, went up to Yosemite. It's actually illegal for us to film in Yosemite, so we didn't get footage of that, but we did fish Bass Lake, had a great time out there. So we'll be posting that in the next couple days, but check this out. I can tell right now that the water has gone up a little bit. I'd say about 2 feet since last time. I'll go ahead and put a picture of what it looked like 5 months ago. So it has gone up a little bit from all the rain we've been getting in the last few months, but it's only gone up about 2 feet. Some of these rails, or whatever you want to call them, there's a couple of them that go down, and that's usually how we mark it. But yeah, it looks beautiful out here. Look how clear. You can see the fish. There's a big old carp right there, Ju. Couple carp.
Yeah, there's a couple.
That was a whole school of carp. So this is the intake pipe. You can see it. It's massive. Goes down under the water. This is where Vegas used to get a lot of its water from. This one is no longer in use, but there is a new one that they built that's right over there, and it's down like 100 feet. So we're still good on water in Vegas for a long time. People were claiming that the water went up just a whole bunch, you know, but I can tell you right now it's only gone up a couple feet after all that rain, and it's expected to go down 20 more feet. So imagine 20 more feet. This will be down probably to about right there. We will see this summer. Look forward to coming out here and checking what the water levels are going to do. Hopefully it doesn't go down too fast, because like I said, we want the bedded fish that are in like 2-3 feet of water, not only the bass but the tilapia and everything, to survive. We don't want their beds to dry up, so we'll be monitoring that. Fishing, coming out here, bow fishing. We're looking forward to this spring and summer. Juju hooks up.
First fish of the day, and I ain't even finished tying up. You need to edit or what?
Yeah, got the netting. Oh, nice.
Jeez, that's a chunk.
Just so you guys know, there's bass all along these walls, all along these edges. Sometimes we'll catch a bass in a spot and people will run to that spot, but they're everywhere. This island, all these islands on the edges where there's big walls and shaded areas, structure, that's where you're gonna catch bass. I haven't even casted yet. Juju, the panfish master.
I haven't even finished tying up my lures yet, and look at them already catching.
Mr. Pan.
That's pretty heavy.
Don't say it in Spanish though, Mr. Pan.
Mr. Pan.
He gets mad.
Yeah. First one of the day.
Wow.
First of many.
Beauty. We always catch and release bass. They're game fish for us. When we fish tournaments, those guys are worth money, so we try to respect them, release them, not harm them. He's always on the board first.
Yep. Let's go. Another one.
Now, if we accidentally catch a striper or tilapia, we'll fry them up tonight. So those of you that are interested in the bass fishing, there's a lot of little plastics that we use. Things like this, just little things that look similar to what they eat. Little grubs. They mistake this for a fish or crawdads. We got so many baits from so many companies, it's crazy. So we just try everything until we catch.
First cast of the day. Look, we're gonna do it like a fast man. Come here, bud.
This guy thinks he's a pro.
Almost there. Little guy. Look at this little guy. So,
yeah, little creature bait.
Yep. So I'll show you guys my rig in a second. But these are those little smallmouth bass. Little tiny guy. Jam-packed full of eggs. But since they're spawning right now, we don't even want to live well them. We go ahead and let them go quick so that they can go and produce more bass for the future. But there's some big ones down there we're gonna catch.
So you want to catch these big bass before they spawn, because they drop all the eggs.
So this is my rig today. It's called a drop shot rig. I've got probably a 1/4 ounce weight just because I like to fish deep and have it sink fast to about a foot. Little hook, drop shot hook, and a little zoom crawl right there, little crawl bait. So this is gonna be working today. Man, does it feel great to be out here at Lake Mead. It's been a long time, hasn't it? At least it feels like it. But we actually, ooh, Juju got him. That was the one that kept biting my hook down there. He finally caught him for me. Can you do it? Can you do it? The multitask. Got him. Looks like he got a little beat up right here.
Yeah, chewed up or something.
Something hit him. He got attacked by something.
Yeah, he's all
Like
chewed
it's a
up.
bite mark. Well, no interruptions now. But it feels great to be out here. It feels absolutely amazing. It's a beautiful day. This year's been oddly cold, and it feels good that finally we're getting some, a little bit warmer weather. And that's always a sign that the fishing is going to just start getting great. I mean, we've been out here only casting for 5-10 minutes. We've already got 3 different fish, lost a few. So fishing's good right now. It's good to see. But as far as the water level goes, what Senior was talking about, I think it has gone up about a foot or 2 since last time, which we've gotten record amount of rain and stuff, so people expected it, but it'll be very interesting to see where it goes from here on in the future. It's probably been about 6 years since I've seen the water this clear at Lake Mead. Since the water has been kind of stable for the last few months here at Lake Mead, it's very clear. It's given everything time to settle and the water to clear, because you guys have seen us out here filming this water intake pipe, and you could probably only see about 6-7 feet deep. Right now you can see 30+ feet deep, which is absolutely incredible. We were right there catching bass and 30 feet right there looking at them bite our hook and everything. So if there's any new viewers that don't know what we're talking about, the lake used to be all the way up there. So the reason we film this and talk about it is because at one point the lake was up there at that color line, and it's dropped massively. Juju over here catching them again. You caught that fish deep. Alright, I'll stop interrupting. But if you guys are new to the channel, that's where the water was like 20 years ago probably, and it's just progressively gone down. And literally last year the water was probably about there, and it's dropped massively over the last year or so, and now it's holding stable. But this intake pipe right here, the reason we film it is because this one used to pull water from the lake to go to Las Vegas. That was one of my favorite bass fishing spots on the lake right there, but it's dry, so that's why we film about it. Now that we checked out this spot, we're gonna go ahead and head over to some of the spots we've always been to, and we'll see what the lake's looking like. Mead Smalley right here.
This is gonna be a big one, Ju. Yep, just take your time. Decided to stop
That's a very good
on
fish.
this point right here, and Juju hooked up probably a 3-pounder. Look at that thing.
Oh my God, that's a
there
big
it
fish. That might be one of the biggest smallies I've seen out of Mead in a long time.
Wow, we're gonna get a 20-pound bag today.
Oh, we seriously might. That's a big fish. Jeez.
Wow.
That's a big fish.
3.6, that's your PB. 3.61.
Honestly, I think this is the biggest smallie that I've seen pulled out of Mead
3.63.
in a long
Biggest
time.
I've seen in probably 6 years. Panfish Master. We're gonna make Panfish Master t-shirts.
That was a good fish, you.
Yeah, bring him in. Don't let him jump. He's gonna get off if he jumps. Oh man,
Is it a good one?
it's a fatty.
Look at how he choked that bait.
Oh yeah, he choked that.
He did not like this at all. Oh, we were all short.
2.86, 2.86. That's the male.
Yeah.
It's the male. He's squirting all over the place.
Yeah, you can see he's spraying, but there we go, folks. There's another solid smallmouth. Look at how red that one's eyes are, man. That always gets me. Like,
Wow.
all right, here we go.
We're out of here.
All right, here's a boat right here that we haven't gotten on film before. A buddy gave us a little tip about this one. We were never able to find it because the water wasn't clear enough. Now you can easily see it, and it's obviously a really old boat that's been down there for a long time. But there it is.
I'm gonna get some underwater footage.
Geez, that thing's old. It's all decomposed and gone pretty much. Looks like it used to be a center console. You can see an old steering wheel or something. Senior got one.
My first fish.
Oh yeah, there's another 3-pounder. You got 15-pound test.
Still don't want to hurt it.
That's a good one. That's another 3-pounder right there.
There it is. I needed that. I can't let you outdo me.
That's a good, I'm gonna guess 3 1/4 right there. That's a good fish weight. Ooh, 3 1/4. 328.
328. All right, where's that camera? I'm gonna do some underwater footage for you guys. Watch this beautiful animal in its natural habitat.
All right, you can stop recording now. It's always really interesting looking at these old boats that have sunk and stuff, because they've all got a story. Who knows how they sunk, why they sunk. One thing I can tell you guys is that this lake is very dangerous. As we've always said in the past, it's very dangerous, and you got to be careful out here, because like a beautiful day like today, if you don't check the weather, we've been out where it's just like today, and literally the weather will just flip on you and go to absolute junk. You'll be out here with 5 foot, 6 foot swells, and it can easily take down a boat like that. It can easily even take down a boat like we're in. So you just got to be careful.
Alan had a lump on his nose.
I wonder what those lumps are.
What's weird is all the pelicans out here, every single one's got a lump.
Oh, really?
I don't know if it's like a mutation they're getting out here or something, but everyone's got a lump. The pelicans must be breeding out here. There's tons of them. We have officially made it back to the Las Vegas wash, kind of government wash area, where the famous boat is that everybody's seen, that's kind of got all the hype about Lake Mead going. The one sticking straight up. Back here the water's always a little bit muddier because the Las Vegas wash feeds in and picks up a bunch of mud along the way. So clarity's not nearly as good. It's always warmer. Let's see. 68.5-degree water back here. That's just, I mean, perfect. Perfect temperature. All of this at one point was underwater, and there was a lot of sunken boats back there, lots of them. And it all grew over with weeds, and it's still grown over with weeds. But it looks quite a bit different than it once did. Oh yeah, you can see that boat. Yeah, there's a boat right there. There it is. It's been too long. It's been way too long. Man, it cleaned off a lot, hasn't it? That rain really cleaned it up. All right, here's the moment of truth. It is touching water. Not very deep, but it's touching. When we first came out here, this was all just smooth mud and no weeds, and then the grass started to grow and then it grew taller and taller and taller. And now there's literally trees growing. Man, it's always crazy. This was a like constantly changing little wilderness here. We were always filming all the animals and stuff. But what do you think? All the trees and everything growing now.
It looks way different. I mean, it's changed so much over the last, 5 or 6 months. But yeah, the water's reaching it again. It's pretty interesting.
Everyone thinks that this is only a matter of time before this boat just tips over, which it probably will one day. And it'll be sad if it does. But man, this thing it's clean now. That rain and stuff, it used to be all full of quagga mussels and mud and stuff. But now you could really see everything in the boat. All right, G, what are your thoughts? You've been exploring this boat just as long as we have.
That's the highest I've seen the water since I've been out here.
It's pretty cool though, huh? All the trees and everything.
Yeah, last time I came, the dirt was like all the way right here.
Yeah. Yeah, this whole thing was almost all dry land and almost connected to that island not too long ago.
It was like, yeah, about right here.
If you guys are familiar with these pelicans, go ahead and comment it down below, because I've never seen a pelican with a hump on its beak like that. And every single one of them out here has it. They've also got like spiky hair going on. Now, one of the reasons that all the pelicans and all the seagulls and birds hang out in this particular area is because a lot of shad like to hang out here. The shad will spawn right here. There's times of the year where there will literally be millions upon millions of shad just all in this whole general area. And that's how they could support all these pelicans, because they must be breeding out here. I've never seen this many pelicans out here at the lake. A couple years ago, I remember we saw the pelicans for the first time, and there was probably 4 of them, 5 of them, and now there's seriously probably 100, 150 of them just all throughout this little valley here. One of the invasive species we have out here on the whole Colorado River system are these quagga and zebra mussels. We filmed them in the past, but man, this whole rock's just loaded with them. We don't have any fish in here that will really eat them up.
I know NDOW doesn't have anything to do with it, but if the federal government or whoever's running this lake will release red ear, the red ear eat those quagga mussels, so it would help the lake a lot. And red ear are very fun to catch, so I wish they would put red ear in here, stock them at least once, and just let them reproduce.
Yeah, the red ear sunfish, they have a nickname called the shell crackers, and it's because they eat all the quagga mussels, the zebra mussels, the snails, and everything like that. So it would be absolutely awesome if they put them in here. Great eating, and I have a feeling that Lake Mead would be able to grow just some monsters in here. I believe we have found paradise. I don't think I ever remember weeds growing like this. I'm sure they have in the past. I'd have to look back at old footage and stuff, but Lake Mead almost never has weeds like this growing out here. This is really cool to see. These things in the past have never had a chance to grow here, really well at least, because every time they would start to grow and get bigger and stuff, the lake would just drop and dry them out and kill them. So this is very promising to see. I really like this. I feel like we talk about it all the time, but it just has to be spoken about, how careful you've got to be on a lake where the water level fluctuates. A lot of the lake is deep enough that you don't have to worry about it, but when you start getting back in spots like this, when you're headed towards the Government Wash and Las Vegas Wash, you just got to be careful. It's a hidden island. It's literally deep everywhere. I mean, you got some hints right there that it can be dangerous out here, but look at this island. It goes seriously from like 50-60 foot of water to just 6 inches of water right here. There it is, another boat we like to show. And then there's that barrel from one of our very first times out here doing a Lake Mead video. That thing, the first time we came out here, was still underwater. Wouldn't be surprised if that thing actually falls into the water sooner or later, because it looks like the dirt's kind of getting washed away from under it. All right, so far we've caught about 15 pounds of bass for our top 5. Really good bag for Lake Mead. That's incredible. But we're gonna try to continue to up it a little bit. We figured out kind of where they're biting and stuff, but Juju still's got us all beat right now. He just broke his personal best smallmouth bass today at about 3.5 pounds, right?
Yeah, that's the biggest one I've ever caught.
That's cool. Well, a lot of people are fans of Juju. If you guys want to see a limited time merch just for Juju, what are we gonna call it? The Panfish Master?
Yeah, the Panfish Master.
Well, we'll draw some ideas up, but we're probably gonna come out with the limited edition line of merch just for you, Ju. So, what do you think about that?
Sounds good. I want at least 50% now.
Okay.
Oh.
Jeez. Jeez, no, it's good. It's good. It's a monster. He's coming up. He's coming up.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh, he just took off. This might be my PB carp.
I think it is.
The thing about carp is they'll never give up. These guys never give up. The second you get them close to the boat and you think you got them, they just will give you a run for your money every time. Oh man. Don't run under the boat, don't run under, don't run under.
Just gonna put this might be the record. Nah.
I mean, he's just taking drag as he pleases. I can't stop him. I don't want to tighten down my drag either, because he's going to end up snapping me off.
Go towards him.
Wait, you can hook towards him a little bit if you want. He's almost done. Jeez, these guys put up a fight.
It's 50 pounder.
Where's he at? I can't
You're
see
under
the
the
boat.
underneath. Just pulling this way. Straight to the net. Ah! Oh, it keeps turning. Juju.
But now he's ready to come up.
Yep.
Oh, God. Holy cow. This is a monster. Oh, it's a monster. Right when the pressure got off, the treble hook popped out. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at that fish. Getting a good angle on them. They've got a real funky mouth. We're going to have to film everything about them, take a bunch of pictures and stuff. All right, let's see. What's the verdict? I'm guessing 18. Oh, I was on it.
1840.
Okay, go ahead, let him go. Look at the orange on his tail. Who's filming? You want to film the close-up of the mouth, Ju? Look at that. Get his tail. Look at the color of that tail. Beautiful. Beautiful fish. These are the common carp. You haven't seen me catch one of these on the channel in years. I got lucky today. Smoked an 18 pounder. This is my PB carp for sure. I've caught 10 pounders before, never quite 18. He's heavy. I'm getting tired holding him. Great day out here today though. You guys checked out the lake, saw everything with us. We're ending it off on an absolute stud of a carp. Here we go. We're gonna do our best to revive it. When these really big fish, when you catch them, they use up so much energy fighting you that normally you have to do this. So we're holding its mouth open, letting the current go, bringing it back to life pretty much. Give it good S motions. Whenever it's ready to go, it'll let you know. All right, I'm gonna push her down, okay? You can slow down a little bit, 1 second. All right, you ready?
Yep.
There it goes.
Oh yeah, it swam.
Should be fine. Well, that was awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was an absolute blast filming it. Lake Mead is a beautiful lake. We enjoyed our time today. It's going to be very, very interesting to see where this lake goes out in the future. It's already starting to get hot, and they're projecting the water level to do nothing but lower. So this is our first trip out here in months, and we're getting at it though. So I really do appreciate you guys for watching. I thank you guys for watching. That was an absolute awesome fish. My hands are slimy. I'm gonna wash them right now, but I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you outdoors.